Hello everyone! Welcome to my first Christmas card for this year. I wanted to start simple. I didn't want the card to be strictly for Christmas since it's still October. Just winter theme with cooler colors. This way you can personalize it, change the colors and greetings for a different occasion. And this is what I made. I decided to paint simple watercolor leaves. I painted them very loosely, and this way it was very quick to make. What you need to paint this are watercolors, brushes, and watercolor paper. These are the products I used. This is what I had in my stash. Just use products you already have or are in your budget. Originally, I was going to use blue paint, which I also did. I will show you the card at the end. But last year, I saw a video from Emma Lafave who used lilac for a painting, and I really liked it. And I wanted to use it for a card, and this project was perfect for it. I don't own a specific lilac paint, so I had to mix it myself, which Emma also shared, and it was pretty easy to do. You need ultramarine blue, purple, and white. I use the Gonzai Tambi watercolors because that's the only set that I have where I have a white paint. Since the Gonzai Tambi paints don't have a palette, I mixed the colors on a laminated cardstock. I had the exact colors. Ultramarine blue is the number 64, purple is 37, and the white is 10. The set I have has multiple purples, and I felt that the number 139, cobalt violet, is better fit. So I tested it, mixed it with the blue and white. Here you can see the swatch. The one at the top is the purple and at the bottom is the cobalt violet. And I do prefer the second one with the cobalt violet, so I decided to use that one. To paint the leaves, I started with a curved line going diagonally from bottom to top. I used a liner brush for that, but you can also use the tip of a round brush if you don't have anything else. For the individual leaves, I used a size 12 brush, but use what you prefer. I'm very picky when it comes to brushes, and I tested quite a few until I chose this one. And I'm usually not 100% happy with what I pick. There is always something. What I really liked about this brush, it had a very pointy tip, but I wish it was a bit more stiffer. This one was very soft. I just feel stiffer brushes give me more control, but for this loose style of painting, it was okay. As you see, I painted the leaves along the curved line, and I also added them to the sides. I painted them randomly in a very loose way. I did not overthink it, or at least I tried to. I started with a lighter layer, I diluted the paint with water, and I used this shade for most of the leaves. After the first layer was dry, I painted the second layer, where I used more saturated paint, pretty much the paint that I mixed. I painted the leaves the same way, overlapping the first set of leaves. The painting is finished. I do really like it. It's exactly what I had in mind. To make it into a card, I first die cut the panel using a stitched rectangular die, just to make it a bit smaller. The die creates a nice border, but if you don't have such a die, what I often do is I just paint the edges with either the same color I used for the painting or golden watercolors. For the greeting, you can definitely write it yourself, but I bought a bunch of Swedish sentiment stamps. All of them say God Jul, which is Merry Christmas in Swedish. What I didn't realize, you only get the red rubber part. The shop sells the gray sticky backing, but I didn't know I needed it, and I didn't want to pay for the shipping again, so I will leave it for the future. So the solution so I can stamp is to add sticky glue on the back and wait a bit. Since I was using a stamping tool, I also put 2 pieces of cardstock so it's a bit higher to supplement for the rubber backing, and then I stamped the greeting using a black ink. I wish I stamped a bit higher, but that's not a big deal. Next, I used light golden watercolors and added a little bit of splatter. You could also use the lilac, but I already cleaned my laminated cardstock and I did not feel like mixing it again. And I decided to paint the edges as well. I will be using a white card base, and even though I was using a watercolor cardstock that was pretty white, it's still different than the white of the card base and it was clashing a bit. And the gold on the edges just creates a separation between the 2 whites. To adhere the panel onto the card base, I used a liquid glue. I like to spread it out with a brush, because if I did not do that, after the glue is dry, when you open the card, you can see the lines where I placed the glue. Using the brush, this does not happen. Here is the finished card, very simple and quick to make. The golden accents give it a little bit of sparkle. This is exactly what I had in mind. And as I said, I also painted it in blue, since it was my original idea. And I think it looks lovely as well. If you like painting leaves and would like to try another project, you can try this card. You can simply adjust the colors for a winter feel. If you enjoyed this video, I would really appreciate if you gave it a like. And I will see you in my next video.